What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we are going to see how we can use React Router DOM to navigate through different pages on our application. So this is a build up to a previous video I did, which is how we can use Google Auth Provider to authenticate users on our application using Firebase. So the video is going to pop up at the top right now. If you find that interesting, you can click on it and watch that video. Yeah, so let's continue with today's video. So yeah, we're going to see how we can use React Router DOM to route through different pages on our application. So this is the login screen we have here. We have a simple input fields which takes email and password, and we can also sign in with the Google Auth Provider here. So when I hit the sign in with Google, we should get a pop-up with our different Google accounts where we can select one to sign in with. So I'm going to choose one here. After selecting it, it's going to sign me in and then route me to the home screen. So we're going to get routed to the home screen. So as you can see here, we are on the home screen. This is just a simple basic home screen. The main concept here is to see how we can use the React Router DOM. So this is a simple home screen. And when we look at the navigation, we can see that we have /home, right? So when I hit the contact page here as well, it should also route me to the contacts page. Yeah, so as you can see, we're on the contacts page, and on the URL, the hyperlink we have here too, we can see that we have the contacts here as well. Yeah, so this is what we are going to do today. We're going to see how we can use React Router DOM to add navigations into our application. Okay, so let's get started. Now, if you want to follow along with the exact code we are using, I'm going to push this code to GitHub, and I'm going to drop the link in the description so you can clone it and get started building or adding React Router DOM for your navigations. Okay, so in our code we have, this is the app.js where that's the entrance of our application, and then we have this pages folder as well, which contain the different pages we have. So we have the home screen, and then we have the contacts page as well, and then we have this 404 page. Now this 404 page is for when a user hits a link where that page doesn't exist. So if the page doesn't exist, we want to render this page. So we can check it out here. If I go back here and type in some dummy URL, we should get the 404 page. So as you can see 404 page not found. So we are going to see how we can do stuff like this in today's video. Okay, so first thing we want to do is to install React Router DOM. So to install React Router DOM, you open your terminal, right? So you open your terminal with Command J or Control J. You open your terminal and then you run this command npm I react router DOM. So this should go ahead and install React Router DOM for us. Then we can start using the package. Okay, so the installation is complete. Now let's start building, let's start integrating it. Okay, so open your index.js file. Open your index.js file, and you find that this is your app.js file being used here, your app components being used here. So what we want to do now is to import router provider from React Router DOM. So that's what we're going to do here. Import router provider from React Router DOM. And instead of having the app here, we are going to clear the app. Or let me just copy this, the router provider, and let me paste it in here. So instead of using the app, we are going to put the router provider here to be able to hold all the different routes we want to add. Right. So when we put the router provider here, it takes a prop, which is router. Now this router, we are going to create an element here called router. Right now, this router is not defined. We are going to define it in a second. So for this particular router, we are going to create a new file here within our src folder. Create a new file. We're going to call it router.js. And inside router.js, what we are going to do first of all is to import create browser router from React Router DOM. Now this is what we are going to use. Create browser router from React Router DOM. And when we do this, we can now go ahead and start defining our routes. So we are going to do export router. Export const router, and then create browser router. So instead of having this, let's put it in a box bracket, because it's going to be in an array of different routes. And then let's start adding the route. So first of all, we need to define the path, right? So we need to define a path. So this is going to be our home screen. So the path is just going to be a slash, and then we need to add in an element. So the element is going to be the component you want to use. So for our home screen, we want the app.js file, we have here, to be our home screen. So this is our app.js file. This is where we have the input fields, and then we have the button, etc. Now this is the function that signs the user in using the Google authentication. So this is going to be our entrance, right? This is going to be the entrance of our application, or the root of our application. So that's going to be the element we have here. That's going to be it. And then, okay, so we can now, since we have the router, we can now import it in the index.js file. So let me import this, control, and then router. So we have the router imported here. Okay, so let me run this application. Let me do npm start so that it runs for us. Okay, so let me close this one. Okay, there's an error here. App is not defined. Okay, so app is not defined. Let's define app. That will be inside router. We need to define the app. So I need to import it. I haven't imported it. So we've not imported it. And now we are back. So as you can see here, we still have, nothing has broken yet. We've moved the app into the router, right? So now the app is inside the router, and we can add new routes to it. Okay, so right now, if I add slash and I bring in different, like an unexisting route, let's see what happens. So we can see something here. Now this is the default 404 not found page provided by React Router DOM. But like I said earlier in the demonstration, you can create a custom error page. So this is the default one provided by React Router DOM. Unexpected application error 404 not found. But we are going to edit this. We are going to use a new error page for this. So let me clear this and then bring it back. Okay, so now that we have this, let's add the error page. So the error page you want to use the error page within the root path, you are going to see error elements. Right, so I'm going to say error elements, and then the error element is going to be the name of our error file, which is what error page. So within the router.js, I'm going to say the error element is going to be error page, like so. So now if we go back and then add in a route, and we add in a route that doesn't exist, we get the 404 page not found, because that's our custom error component. Okay. All right, now let's add the other routes. Let's add a new route. So the new route we want to add now is the home route, right? So we have the home route here, which just have this h1 and then this p tag with contacts page. Okay, so we want to add this home component or element into our router. So we open the router and then we just add a path. So the path is going to be home/home, and then the element is going to be, instead of app, we are going to use the component we have here, which is home. And then let's import it. Let's import home. So we have home imported. So now if we go back to the app and then we search in the URL and add home, it should route us to the home page. So as you can see, we are on the home page. We have the home page on the home on the URL on the hyperlink, and then we have this home page as well. So it means it is working perfectly. And then let's add our final route, which is the contacts page. So I'm going to say path is contacts, and then the element we are going to use is the contacts element. Let's import that one too as well. So now if you go back and then we search for the contacts, it should take us to the contacts as like so. Good. So now everything is working, right? Everything is working. But right now, when the user logs in, with the Google, it doesn't route the user to the home screen. So let's fix that. So inside our app.js, which is our entrance, inside app.js, we're going to use a hook from React Router DOM. Now this hook is called use navigation. So let's import use navigation. So we're going to import use navigation. Use navigate from React Router DOM. We're going to import it because that's the hook we are going to use to navigate the user after the user has logged in. So we're going to say const navigate. Let's declare this variable called navigate, and then we initialize it with the use navigate hook. Okay, great. Now what we are going to do next is, with the navigate variable we've just created, within our function we have here, which is sign in with Google, after the user has been signed in and everything it has worked, after we've set the user and everything, we are going to navigate the user to the home screen. So we're going to say navigate, and it takes a property which is a string, and the property is supposed to be the path where you want to navigate the user to. So after the user has been signed in, then it hits this navigate section where the user then gets to be navigated to the home screen. So let's test this out and see if it is working. Back to the app, and then let's sign in with Google. Okay, let's see what's going on. Let's sign in with Google. Okay, I think there's an error. Let's close this. Let's refresh the page. Let's sign in with Google again. All right, now we can choose one of these Google accounts. Let me choose this one. So it should route us to the home page as we've perfect. So as you can see, after the user got signed in, the user is now routed to the home page, and we have the home page here. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to be able to click this contacts page and then get routed to the contacts page. So now we have to move to the home screen or the home page, and this is the contacts page. Now to do this, we're going to use something from React Router DOM called the link. We're going to use the link. So with the link, we need to import it. So we're going to do import link from React Router DOM. So the link is going to help us route to a new page. So let's put the p tag inside the link, and then we need to define where we want the link to go to. So we are going to use the property called to, and then we add the path where we want it to be routed to. So obviously we want it to go to the contacts page, so we need to add the path contacts. Now you have to make sure that the path you are defining here is the same one you've defined in the router page. So if you are using contacts, you should use contacts everywhere you want to route at, or everywhere on the in your app. Else, if the spelling is different or there's a typo in your, or there's a mismatch, it wouldn't work. So you have to make sure that it is actually the same as what we have defined inside the router here. Okay, so back to what we are doing here. So you add a link and you define the path as well. So now when you click on it, it should route us to the contacts page. So let's go back and then hit the contacts page. So as you can see, we now have this pointer button and pointer cursor here. So when I click on it, it should route us to the contacts page. So as you can see, we are now on the contacts page, and the URL has also changed. We have this contact page here as well. So yes, this is all for today's video. Hopefully you've learned a lot from it, and you've now seen how you can use React Router DOM to add navigations in your application. So if this works for you and this has helped you, please do well to hit the subscribe button, like this video as well, and share it to your friends who are also interested in programs like this. So thank you very much for your time and watching up to this point, and catch you in the next video.